I'm Paul Perkins with the check of your ag weather. After highs this afternoon in the mid to upper 40s in the east, the 50s across the central, in the 60s farther west, and some southerly winds gusting up to 25 to 35. A cold front drops south tonight. Possibly could see a little light rain or snow. Highs cool into the 40s tomorrow before a slight warm up into the mid 40s to the low 50s on Sunday. Building ridge of high pressure, warming our highs to mostly the mid 50s to the mid 60s Monday all the way through Christmas. Northwest Kansas may see highs up around 70 for Monday and Christmas Eve and Christmas. Long-term forecast calls for warmer than normal temperatures to continue Wednesday through New Year's Day for Nebraska, Kansas, and nearly all of the U.S. In central Nebraska, daytime highs the first of the year, usually in the upper 30s, with average overnight lows in the mid-teens. Nebraska and Kansas precipitation indicated to be mostly below normal for Christmas Eve through New Year's Day. Key weather factors influencing the markets include much warmer weather ending the year in the U.S. and rain benefiting much of South America. Mild and dry weather prevails into at least early next week from Southern California to the central and southern plains. Farther east, fast-moving cold fronts result in blustery weather and rapidly fluctuating temperatures. Frigid conditions are limited to the northern U.S. on Sunday morning when temperatures fall below zero in the upper Great Lakes and nearby areas. That contrasts with weekend temperatures briefly topping 80 in much of Texas, with similar readings returning across the south central U.S. next week before Christmas. Extremely warm air develops next week across the U.S. with cold air pushed northward into western Canada. Northern U.S. areas along the Canadian border continue to be the target for active weather with a couple of storms, but with little cold air and only limited rain. Some record highs are likely to be broken next week, especially across the nation's midsection. If this continues for a prolonged period, it may draw wheat out of dormancy in the central and southern plains, reducing the winter hardiness when cold air eventually returns. In Brazil, continuing rain keeps conditions favorable or improving. Southern Brazil expects rain to continue through much of next week. Rain continues in much of central Brazil, but may not be as heavy. Argentina this week expects widespread rainfall that may last in far northern areas next week, continuing the trend of favorable soil moisture for developing corn and soybeans despite a recent dry trend. With your check of ag weather, I'm Paul Perkins.